guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading, it's going to be a Daily Tarot Snapshot, which is a one-card reading focusing on the energies surrounding us on that particular day. I will be using, once again, for all of the daily readings this week, I'll be using the Akashic Tarot deck, which I used last week as well. Okay, because I love the deck. I think it's very beautiful, and I love the messages that come through from the deck. So I'll be using that deck for the entire week. And then I'm also in the process of finalizing the readings, the mid-monthlies, and then I'll have the 2018 overview readings that I will be posting very shortly. As you can see, I'm not in my usual place for doing the readings. So I'm not at home right now, but I will be posting those other readings once I get home, so probably more towards the end of the week. Just keep in mind that for all of the readings, they are general, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. In order to have a more personalized reading, you would need to get a private reading with me, and if you're interested, you can take a look at my website. There you'll find information about the types of readings that I offer, as well as pricing for the readings. The site is changingphasestarot.weebly.com, or you could email me at changingphasestarot@gmail.com. Right, I will see you in 1 second to get into the shuffle. Bye for now. All right, so let's get into our reading. So we're looking for the energy surrounding us on Wednesday, December 20th, 2017. What are the messages? What do we need to know for Wednesday, December 20th, 2017? What is the message? What do we need to know? Okay, we had a bunch of cards fall out. Hold on 1 second. Put those back. Messages for Wednesday. One message for Wednesday, December 20th. And we have, this is Major Arcana number 2, the Akashic Library. Let me hold this up so you can see. And I think we had this card, it was either last week or the week before we had it. And now this is the third Major Arcana in a row. So, let me put this here so we can see the card a little better. Let's set this up there. Okay, so in the traditional tarot, this would actually be the number 1 card, right? That would be the Magician, because in the Akashic Tarot deck, it's organized a little differently. I did an extra video on, it was like a video review of the Akashic Tarot deck, and I explained a little bit about the deck, but it's a bit different. So some of the cards are, the numbered cards are, the pip cards are cut out. The numbering on the Major Arcana, it's different. So the deck, the Major Arcana, doesn't begin with the 0, the full card, it begins with number 1. So this number 2 card would technically be the Magician, right, in the regular deck. And the Magician is all about creativity, creative power, right, determination. The Magician is somebody who is able to really manifest, has everything that he needs to manifest what he wants in life, right? And usually in the traditional tarot deck, he's pictured as having, the 4 elements around him. So he has fire, water, earth, air, and spirit, right, as well. And so it's a card of kind of unlimited potential, right? And he's somebody who, whatever he sets his intentions or whatever he sets his sights on, he's able to achieve, he's able to manifest. So he's a very powerful figure. Now in this deck, number 2 is called the Akashic Library. And for those of you who are not that familiar with the Akash and what the Akashic Records or Akashic Library, what it is, the Akashic, if we start off with a little bit of information about the Akashic records. So they have to do with it's really the expansive body of all information, all knowledge, inspiration, and creativity for eternity. That's what, when we talk about the Akashic records, that's what they are. The Akasha, it literally means the etheric, so the divine, right? The divine mind, the collective consciousness, and everything that comprises or makes up the etheric world. And then we have the Akashic forces, and those would be, the energies, the etheric energies and psychic powers that kind of move through and catalyze, make things, so all things and thoughts and actions sort of work, right, throughout all time. And also it's the force and will of the higher mind, right, the higher mind, the higher heart. So with the Akashic Library card, what this card has to do with is, this knowledge, right? This great library of sort of divine knowledge here. And if let me hold it up again so you can take a look at it. We see that, there's candles. He's sitting inside of this great library, right? And this sage here, he has the open book there, and he has a quill pen in his hand, right? And he looks as though he's ready to receive messages, but he also looks as if he is ready to, to really begin to allow whatever it is that he has, in mind out on the paper. So this card sometimes appears when this is you, actually being interested in writing or publishing, or it could just be a new initiation, right? So just something new manifesting in your life. It also has to do with you having moved deeper into the Akashic records, into a higher self-awareness. So you might notice that, you are starting to have a better understanding of things around you, right? Of your purpose in life, of, things that maybe you didn't pay attention to before. You're kind of paying more attention to those things, starting just like if we think about the other messages we had on Monday and Tuesday of this week. It's all about, being more open, right? Noticing the messages that are coming across from the other side to you. And then with this card coming in, this is really a card of heightened spirituality, right? Heightened intuition. So you really have, there's a lot of potential with this card, but it's also about you being more in touch with your higher self. So this is a very special card, right? And when you're thinking about relationships in your life right now, and how, they might tie in with the Akashic records, this card just reminds you that, the Akashic forces, they're sort of active in every part of your life, right? And your particular book, right, whatever your life story is, your book is actually part of this Akashic library, right? You're part of this collective consciousness here. And the Akashic Force message that goes along with the card, it says, as you close your eyes, envision yourself stepping into the most beautiful and serene of all ancient libraries. Imagine yourself taking a book from a shelf and opening it to a page. Notice the first word that comes to you. What does it tell you? How does it feel? Remember to visit this mystical library often and tap into the expansive wisdom that is yours. So again, it's a card that has to do with tapping into the power within, right? But also being connected to what lies sort of out there, right? In this higher self realm, this collective consciousness realm. So, again, another powerful, it seems like every day I'm saying that, but it's a very powerful card. So you might be receiving messages, right? Again, I think yesterday I said to keep a notebook close by or keep it next to your bed. You might be receiving messages, or there might be, you might receive flashes of things, or just like it was saying, imagine that book and think of what is the first word that comes to mind. Jot it down, and then afterwards, maybe things will start appearing or start manifesting. And and that word will end up making sense, you know, or the message that you thought, you know, that doesn't make any sense right now, it does end up making sense because, you know, by allowing yourself to be more open to these messages, when these events do actually happen, when they, you know, end up happening, then it all, you know, you kind of say, okay, that does make sense now. At the time it didn't, but now it does, because you're opening yourself to the possibilities of, you know, these new types of messages, and to the information contained here in the Akashic Library. So, very beautiful card. I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. I look forward to reading for you again tomorrow. Wishing you a wonderful Wednesday full of peace, love, and light. Bye.